Who really should have won Employee of the Month? Squidward or SpongeBob? So the other day I was watching SpongeBob and I was watching the episode Employee of the Month, season 1, episode 12. And there's one scene that I've never thought about until now. It's a scene where SpongeBob and Squidward are racing to the Krusty Krab because they're competing for Employee of the Month. Squidward dragging a boat, SpongeBob dragging an anchor, crawling. Just roll the clip. And watching this, I had one extremely important thought. What if they didn't stop? Who would have won? Now, I knew right away this wasn't a vibes-based question. This is a math problem, a physics problem. And it's specifically using force, friction, and work. Now, guys, I'm no mathematologist, but I do know one. The man, the myth, the legend, my dad, Mr. Filipetto. So I sat down and I asked him the big question. If SpongeBob and Squidward kept going, who would have made it to the Krusty Krab first? Or honestly, who would have even made it there at all? His answer was surprisingly simple. You need to find the amount of work it takes for each of them to pull their respective object. So yes, we're solving for work. So after about 30 minutes of discussion and confusion and me nodding and acting like I understood what's going on, we got this equation. Now, if that looks like complete gibberish, don't worry, it did to me too. Let me break it down super simply for you. We are solving for W, which is work. Work is force multiplied by distance, and force is made up of drag force plus friction force. That's it, that's the whole idea. So now that we have the equation with a lot of letters, we need to put numbers in place of those letters. So let's fix that. Some of the values are easy to look up, and those are P, which is rho, the density of water for undersea water, which is 1,000 kilograms per meters cubed. CD, which is drag coefficient. For the anchor, it's 1. For the boat, it's 0.8. Mu, which is that like weird U looking thingy, is the coefficient of friction between objects and sand. And a rough object on sand is generally 0.5. G, which is the acceleration due to gravity, is 9.81 meters per second squared. Same underwater as in air. Those are the easy ones. Now we have to find the harder variables. V, which is velocity, A, which is the cross-sectional area of the object, M, mass, and D, distance. These require some assumptions. Let's start with distance. In the episode, they're racing from SpongeBob's house to the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob and Squidward don't immediately start dragging the anchor in the boat. They mess with each other first, traps, chaos, other SpongeBob activities. So it's reasonable to assume that they're about halfway between SpongeBob's house and the Krusty Krab. That is when the dragging starts. According to online sources, that full distance from SpongeBob's house to the Krusty Krab is half a mile. So the remaining distance would be 1/4 of a mile, which converts to D equaling 402.34 meters. Yes, we are doing this in metric because I live in Canada and it's easy to convert. Same distance for both characters. Next, velocity. Now this was very interesting to solve for. So I decided to use this frame right here. As we can see that it takes SpongeBob 1.28 seconds to move the length of his own body. Now, stay with me. According to SpongeBob's fandom wiki, SpongeBob is about 4 inches tall or 0.1006 meters. So the velocity is, when you do all the math, velocity equals 0.085 meters per second. From watching the scene, I'm going to assume that SpongeBob and Squidward are moving at the same speed because that's what it looks like. So we have this value for both of them. Next is the cross-sectional area. Now we find the shadow of the object, which is the area facing the direction of motion. To do this, I used scaling. So SpongeBob's anchor is about 4 SpongeBobs tall and 2 SpongeBobs wide. Since SpongeBob is 4 inches tall, that gives us 16 inches by 8 inches or 128 inches squared. But the anchor isn't exactly a perfect rectangle, obviously, so we're gonna assume that it fills about 50% of that area. So you divide that by 2 and we get the anchor area equaling 64 inches squared or 0.0413 meters squared. Now onto Squidward's boat. The boat scales approximately in length 3.5 Squidwards, in height, 4 Squidwards, and in width, 2 Squidwards. Squidward is about 6.5 inches tall, which gives us a height of 26 inches, width of 13 inches, and since the sails contribute to drag, we're just gonna use height width. No need to take any percentages here. The area of the boat is 3.38 inches squared, or 0.218 meters squared. Now we find mass. This was done by scaling down real world objects to SpongeBob scale. And listen, I'm gonna be so honest with you, this took a lot of brain power and a long time, and this would take a long time to explain it to you. So I'm gonna pull a trust me bro, and you're just gonna have to trust me on this, okay? Here are the values. The mass of the anchor is about 1 kilogram, and the mass of the boat is 1,418 kilograms. So here is the summary of the variables. Throw it on screen. And I'm gonna give you a moment to read that while I just dance. Read the variables. Understand the variables. The numbers that we just came up with. Understand the numbers we So now that you have absorbed it, let's solve it. So when we put all this into a scientific calculator, because ain't no way I'm doing long math on this, SpongeBob's work, pulling the anchor, he uses 2,034 joules of energy to pull the anchor. Squidward, pulling the boat, is 2,798,550 joules of energy, of work here. That's so bad. Okay. So assuming that neither of them literally explode from exhaustion, especially Squidward, SpongeBob wins by a landslide. So he is doing significantly less work, meaning Squidward would get tired faster, slow down, and eventually lose. So yes, once again, SpongeBob is victorious out of the other, 50 times that he was employee of the month. Couldn't give Squidward a break. Never give Squidward a break, okay? But SpongeBob wins. All right, so you just watched a 10-ish minute video of a question that you quite literally have never asked in your life, probably. But you're so welcome for that. I am glad that I could fill that blank space in your brain that maybe you never use. Like, put it up in your mind palace. Just shelf it. SpongeBob would win if they continued using math. I think it's just hilarious because Squidward is working so hard to pull that boat because of just the sheer size. Also, anchors are lighter than I thought they were. Density is crazy. I don't know. Anyways, I thought this was pretty fun. Thank you for watching. Please, if you have any suggestions of theories or things you want me to overthink as we naturally do, then please leave them in the comments. But oh my gosh, Siri needs to stop doing that. Shut up, please. That's all, folks. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers, babes. Cheers. I'm sponsored. I can't even. Ooh, magic. I'm not even drinking. You can see it. All right. I tried. At least I tried. What are you doing here? What are you still doing here at the end of the video? I love that you're here at the end of the video. You stayed for the end card. You stayed for the end card. blue.